Hey friends, here's how I plan and edit a day in the life video using today's sponsor, Adobe Firefly. First off, we're starting with the planning phase inside of Adobe Firefly boards. Now to get your boards looking like this, what you do is you come up and you click and select add an artboard. You then just drag that down and put that wherever you want it. You can rename your artboards if you want to, so you can say morning setup, and then you can just add in some text on here. And you can just change the size of the text, you can change how this aligns, etc. But you can just kind of like add in a list of all of the things that you want to start capturing and kind of like start planning ideas of what it is for your day in the life vlog that you want to create and what it is that you want to capture and how you want to capture it. Now it's all well and good adding some text on there, but we also want to add in some images. Now Adobe Firefly have added an update here where you can actually now search the Adobe stock library. So we're going to turn and search for coffee breakfast, and we can see we've got all sorts of different options here that we can start adding in. And all you do is you add these in to your timeline. So we can say we just want to add in this one. I've added a couple in here already, and we've got things like laptop working, and kind of creating like a little bit of a mood board with some text in there, and also some kind of like idea of the shots that you want to take. Then all you need to do is go and take the shots. Now I'm not going to bore you with me going and taking the shots, I've already done those. All we need to do now is we come to the Firefly video editor. This is in beta mode. You come to the Firefly homepage, you just click on that, and you're going to then open up a blank timeline, start with a new project. Now I've gone ahead and already added all of my clips and a couple of soundtracks to my editor here. All you need to do is if you come over and click on your media, you can then choose to add items to your project, and you can just add those in there from whichever source it is that you want, whether it's your laptop or maybe it's something you've generated elsewhere inside of Firefly, and I'm going to come on to show you how you can actually access those in a short moment. All you need to do is then literally drag and drop these down into the timeline whichever way you want to, and you can also then just click and drag these around if you want to change the order. To change and chop these around, all you're going to do is you can zoom in using the zoom in option here. Okay, and once we've actually zoomed in, we can then choose which parts of the clip we want to keep. And we can see here, this is a clip that I actually shot accidentally horizontally. So all you need to do is zoom out here a little bit and then just drag the corners here to then reframe this to be however I want it to be in the actual frame. If you started with a horizontal clip, let's say it was actually, when you dragged it onto the board, it was a horizontal clip, you can change the aspect ratio here. So if you wanted this to be a horizontal video, you can just change the aspect ratio here and it'll automatically fit your footage if you want to click that as well. Now, one of the new features that you can now try inside of Adobe Firefly is to actually edit videos. And I don't mean on an editing timeline like this, I mean actually change something in the video that was shot without actually having to retake it. Let's take this shot for example. You can see here, down here, I've actually got I've got a lampshade up here that I kind of like felt was a little bit distracting. The table was a little bit messy, and also there's a little bit of blue box down here that I thought was a little bit distracting. So what I've done is I've actually taken a little section of that clip. You can use this up to 5 seconds. Okay, you can see that here, and I've added that to my Firefly boards just by clicking on add content from my device. So I've kind of like taken a little section of that, added that to the Firefly boards, and then we can come up to the edit option, and in here you can edit it with Ray 3 or edit it with Runway LF. And then this is what we've come up with. I've said remove the lampshade. I actually spelling mistake a little bit there, but from the top left of the video, and also clear the table. Okay, and we can see side by side, this is just a still of the video. These are our actual videos. So you can see that's the first video there. Okay, where I'm just taking a sip of my drink, looking out the window, being very reflective in a morning. I like to kind of like look out and kind of like just feel a little bit more peaceful in the morning. Okay, and then this is the actual video that it's actually taken. You can see it's not changed me there. It's kind of cleared most of the table here. We've got a couple of little blobs here, but it's removed that blue box, and it's also from here, it has removed that lampshade or lighting, whatever it is that you wanted to remove. So I've just kind of like come in here and tried that. Okay, Now there are a couple of different things you can do with that. I've been playing about with this a little bit. Okay, this is an original video that I did a couple of days ago, and runway includes audio. So this is the original clip. I've got this clip here that I'm using just as a demo. Okay, and I could do things like remove the background. I've got this clip here that I'm using just as a demo. Okay, so I can remove the background or change the background. You can see it's actually changed it to make it look more like I'm actually in this beach setting here. There was a cartoon version. Okay, and the option here, so Ray 3 doesn't have audio, but Runway seems to actually still keep the audio. Okay, and I just changed the person to pixel art. Okay, and also like changed myself to make it look like I was made from rock. And this person also. So that was kind of like a little bit of a fun thing, a little bit of a side thing there that I wanted to show you that you could do whilst editing the video or using the edit video feature inside of Adobe Firefly boards. Let's get back into the actual day in the life edit. So then in order to actually now access that or access anything else that we've actually generated inside of Firefly, we come down to the next option here, which is our generations, and then we can scroll down. Okay, and then we can see here, this is the clip that I've generated here, and we just literally drag that on to the timeline here. Okay, and we could just choose which part of the timeline we want to add that into, and we can see here that instead of this big long clip here where it's messy and stuff like that, I can just delete that now because I've actually got this clip here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and continue to cut these up. As I say, you can just kind of like just trim from the end just by grabbing them like this, or move your playhead to wherever you want and pressing S on the keyboard, and that's then going to split your clip. Now we've got all of those clips trimmed to how we want them to. We want to add a little bit of audio or something like that to there. Maybe we want to add a voiceover, or maybe you even want to use AI to create a kind of like a voiceover instead. It's up to you as to what you want to do. On this occasion, I'm going to create a new, and I'm going to create a soundtrack. And then what that does is it's going to open up the soundtrack editor. And on here, we can change the vibe, the style, or the purpose, and also the energy and the tempo. What I've done is I've gone ahead and actually uploaded a completed version of the timeline that I want to actually create this content for. And we can see it actually gives us 4 tracks here. What we're going to do then is, when we've actually chosen one we want, we can download that, or if we wanted to use it separately, but because this is Adobe Firefly, we can now go in and go to the edited option, and we can see here it's actually got that under our generation history, and we just literally drag and copy that down here, and that's going to put that soundtrack directly onto our timeline. Now there is a little bit here that I've kind of like done and edited. Computer, turn on the office lights. Now, in order to do this particular part here, what I actually had to do was split the clip of the audio track, and then I can come down and change the volume. And also then if I wanted to increase the volume of this one, I changed it to 160%. So you could actually hear me giving that command to actually turn my lights on. Now we've got our finished video. It's just a simple case of downloading that and uploading it to our social media. If you want to try these for yourself, I'll put a link to those down in the description. And also if you've got any comments or questions, let me know. But until next time, thank you very much and bye for now.